Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to cover image integration. I recommend that you take notes as this information will be relevant for the quiz that is coming up and also for your essays. Images can help do three of the following points for your final papers. One is that they can help the readers understand your point. So for example, if you're trying to prove that parking is a problem on Cal Poly's campus, then it would be a good idea to include a visual representation of what that means. So this photo at the bottom right here does just that. So it's kind of physical proof to suggest, to prove your problem, I should say. Another reason why you'd include images is that they can illustrate your ideas. So say you're writing an essay about the new library that is coming out in a few years. And you just need to provide a visual representation of what exactly the library would look like, and maybe compare it to the current library. That would be great. Visuals can really help the readers visualize whatever it is that you're talking about. So this image right here in the upper right-hand corner does just that. It illustrates your ideas of what you're proposing. And then images can also provide examples and or evidence. The evidence one was talked about earlier at the bottom right-hand corner. But say that you are proposing that there's a stoplight being implemented on Grand Avenue, then it'd be really helpful for you to have a map up and you can show the readers exactly where it is that you're proposing the stoplight. So maps are really helpful visuals for your essays. Please keep in mind that you should not replace your text with your graphics. Only use graphics as a supplement, and I'll show you an example of what that looks like in just a moment. Here's the example. You need to tell your readers what they should see in your images. So for example, I'm going to read this out loud. One cause of environmental pollution can be seen in Figure 1. This will have a long-term effect on the environmental safety of Hong Kong as a whole. So in this engagement with your photos, you're not exactly telling the readers what to look like, and you need to. For example, what is the cause of environmental pollution? What is this that it's talking about? You need to tell your readers what they should gather from the photo. Another problem that you can see in use of images is that you include vague photos. So avoid vague photos. An example of that is right here. As a coastal region, Hong Kong has access to large areas of sea, Figure 1. So if you look at that, this is just a picture of the sea. It doesn't add anything to your essay. Instead, if I were to use this caption, what I would do is include an image of what the generation of electricity from wave power would look like in other coastal areas. But just including a random photo of the sea does not add anything to the writing itself. So the main takeaway from this slide is to make sure that your images always add something to your paper, and then also that they cannot stand alone, that you always engage with them. In terms of integrating your images into your actual paper, there are two parts. One is a caption and one is you engaging with it in your text. We'll talk first about captions. There are a number of steps that you should take for making your captions. The first thing that you're going to do is label and number the image. So your captions will be Figure 1, Figure 2, etc. Figure is abbreviated to FIG, period, in the caption itself. In your writing, it's not going to be abbreviated. So I'll always see it abbreviated in the caption. After that, you're going to include context for the image. So caption the image to provide titles or explanatory notes. So for example, if you're including a photo on introversion, what it would say is Fig 1, photo that demonstrates the differences between introversion and extroversion. So those are the explanatory notes. Keep in mind that your caption itself should be double-spaced, 12-point font, Times New Roman, directly underneath the photo. These captions are MLA specific. And then you're going to include the word from, followed by the MLA and text citation. So it's going to look kind of funky because you're going to include a full caption there, but that's what MLA's rules are. Because your citation is in your caption, you do not need to include it in your works cited page for your final paper. Keep that in mind. And here's an example of the formula of what I'm looking for your caption. So Figure 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., followed by a period, your description of the figure, the word from, a colon, and then the MLA citation. So let me give you an example of that. Say I'm writing an essay on Harry Potter, which why would you not want to write an essay on Harry Potter? And you're engaging with your text, with your image in the text itself. Your figure would look like this. Fig 1, period. The title that you give it, Harry Potter and Voldemort Final Battle Debate. The word from, it's missing the colon there. And then you'd include the MLA 8th edition in-text citation. And again, I'm not going to see this in your works cited page because it's included right here. Keep in mind that the second part to engaging with photos in your text, besides the caption, is your in-text reference. You have to engage with your photo in your writing itself. Photos cannot stand alone. So I'm always going to see you engaging with your photos every time you use them. So for example, they claim that the final battle between Voldemort and Harry turned cliche with overly done tropes of good versus evil, red versus green. See figure 1. So here I'm directly engaging with figure 1 and makes the reader's eyes move to the figure and engage with it from there. So the 2 requirements of images is your in-text reference and your caption. And last but not least, in terms of embedding your images themselves, please include your images in your actual paper embedded. The text should wrap around your images. Here, in the second example, please do not include appendices. That's for different types of report writing. Your images should be embedded in your paper so readers can just quickly look over and they don't have to flip pages. It makes the most sense to put your image on the left or right hand side. Don't put it in the middle because in the middle it makes it really hard for readers to continue to read as the text goes across the image. And that is all that I have for you. If you have any questions for me, please let me know.